We hope to be able to call a meeting of the State Board of Equalization for this Friday, if possible. All the members will be available. At that time, I plan to introduce a resolution and seek the approval of the board calling for or directing the State Tax Commission to begin immediately a ratio study of assessments in the different counties, the 77 counties of the state, with the idea that at next year's meeting following this study, which can be completed by the first of this next year, that the State Board of Equalization will then be in a position to initiate the equalization of assessments as between the counties. I think that if that is done, in fact I know that if it's done, that it will relieve materially the financial problems of the state, particularly in the field of common schools.
Class A is defined as a club which is nationally recognized, lodge, fraternal society, or veterans organization. Class B is a restaurant which will provide a private room for private drinking only. Class C is defined as a club where they have drinking, dancing, and serving of food. Class A, the license fee will be $100. Class B, $300. Class C, $600. The ordinance has very specific membership and charter requirements. There are strict kitchen requirements and food servicing requirements also. It prohibits free licenses, rebates, or license transfers. The committee feels that these regulations will prohibit the fly-by-night operators and protect legitimate clubs.
Governor, when you talk about a master highway plan, I assume that you have something different in mind from the highway program that could be completed within the 4 years of an administration. Isn't that right?
Yes, I do. I have in mind a similar thing as was done in California back right after the war, World War II, when a plan was presented to the people and the money was voted by the people to pay for that plan. It was a 10-year plan for highways in California. When it was first proposed, everybody out there said it's going to cost too much money and that people wouldn't want it. They ended up voting for it, and before the 10 years, a third of the 10 years had expired, the people had come back and voted to expand that master plan.
You feel then that when the people know exactly what they're going to get, that they will vote the taxes and so forth that might be needed?
I feel like that when the people of Oklahoma know that the money that they're providing in gasoline tax and other road user taxes, revenues, is going to be spent on highways where the traffic counts justify them and spent economically and efficiently, they want and need roads bad enough that they'll provide the money for them.
Or would this include something more than simply Oklahoma City and Tulsa?
Certainly it would. It would include the entire state of Oklahoma, not just any one particular area of the state.
Would these all necessarily include free roads, or possibly could toll roads be integrated into them?
Certainly toll roads can be integrated into that master plan.
Could you say that now that we have a new highway director, General Washbourne, that in a sense this master plan is already underway?
I think that it can be. I think General Washbourne is particularly qualified by his experience in planning installations for the Strategic Air Command and the Air Force itself to be ideally suited to help us write such a master plan for highways in Oklahoma.
The thing of it is, so many of you, being operators, undoubtedly know that it's almost impossible to close that dryer from the inside. The general opinion is that that boy had help in closing that machine, which caused his death. It looks like some of these things, as the gentleman said, like the boy falling out of the apple tree, they're just going to occur. It's just an accident.
But the possibility of that little incident having happened without help is remote. And so that with that in mind, I think the consensus opinion of this group that we had was that a regulation to govern something so remote as the possibility that we had there would be a burden that shouldn't be placed on the people operating these laundries.
I had an idea that perhaps that there should be an attendant on duty at all times that you were open. But in view of what has been said here, perhaps I'm wrong on that. Certainly not trying to push anything down anybody's throat.